Welcome back to the Digimaster training video series, helping you get to know your Digimaster DVR. In part 2, we'll take a look at the recording setup on your DVR system. Once again, as we go through the menus and functions of the Digimaster, when we press a button on the front panel, it will light up on the front panel simulator. Let's get started by pressing the Setup button. We previously looked at a few parts of the System Setup menu. This time, we're looking for the Record menu. Once again, we'll log on to the system, using our admin account and the password 1234, followed by the Enter button. Now we're looking at the Recording Operations menu. This menu contains settings for daily or weekly schedule modes, pre- and post-recording buffers, and options for panic button recording. Press the down arrow key, and now you're looking at the Timer Motion Setup menu. Press the Enter button and the word Parameter will appear in yellow. The parameter side of the menu controls recording settings, such as image resolution, quality level, image rate, and audio recording. Press the right arrow key to flip over to the Schedule side of the menu. The Schedule side of the menu determines what your channels are doing at each hour of the day. From left to right, the horizontal axis of the grid represents the time of day. From top to bottom, the vertical axis of the grid represents channels 1 through 16. This represents continuous recording, with each square colored in a solid light blue color. Press the Enter button and you'll see a pink outline around the schedule grid. Press the Enter button again and you'll see a green cursor square in the upper left-hand corner of the grid. Press Enter again and the cursor square will turn yellow. Now use your arrow keys to expand this box to include all channels and all hours of the day. Press Enter one more time and you're given a choice between None, Timer, or Motion. To set the DVR for motion-only recording, select Motion and press the Enter button. Press the Cancel button once to step back to the schedule grid. You'll notice that the look of the grid squares has changed. If you see a light blue center with a dark blue border in each grid square, this indicates motion-only recording. Our latest firmware update now allows you to select both timer and motion recording together. This is represented on the grid by a light blue border with a dark blue center. The DVR will record continuously, but will still keep track of all your motion events in the event log. With the newer firmware, in order to select motion-only recording, you'll have to first uncheck the box for timer, then check motion. As always, you'll use the Enter button to check or uncheck any box. Once again, this pattern represents motion only. To exit and save these settings, you can use the Cancel button to step out of the Record menu. The system will prompt you asking if you want to save the changes. Select OK and then press the Enter button. Now press Cancel one more time to back out of the Record menu. The system may ask you to wait for a moment while it saves your settings. You are now back in live view mode. I'll simulate motion on a few of our channels at a time so you can see how this changes the recording and event icons. Remember, a red recording icon indicates that the channel is being recorded. A green recording icon indicates that the channel is in standby and is waiting for a motion event to occur. The M icon stands for motion recording. Now let's plug in our USB mouse and go have another look at the parameter side of the menu. Right-click anywhere on the screen and choose Setup. Then click on the Record menu. Key in the admin password using the virtual keyboard. Now click on the Timer Motion Setup menu. Click on the word Parameter to select that side of the menu. At the top of the screen, you'll see a 0 through 24-hour timeline. We're going to click and drag to select the entire timeline to change all 24 hours out of the day. Now when you let go of the mouse button, you'll see a submenu pop up. This will include all of your channels and the resolution, quality level, frame rate, and audio recording for each channel. Click on any field and use the arrow keys to change the setting. The higher the resolution, the better your images will look, but you'll need to balance an increase in resolution with a decrease in frame rate. At standard resolution, the system will allow 7 images per second per channel. At medium resolution, you can get 3 images per second per channel, and at the highest resolution, you'll need to set the cameras at an average of 2 images or less. An indicator at the bottom of the screen helps you keep track of the number of available frames. If you see a negative number, you're over the limit. The system will only let you save your changes if there's still a positive number of frames remaining. When you are done making changes, click OK. Now click the X at the upper right-hand corner of the window. Once again, the system will prompt us to save our changes. Click OK to save and exit. I want to jump back into the record menu for just a moment to show you one more thing about scheduling. When you look at the recording operations menu, you'll notice an option for daily or weekly scheduling. In daily mode, every day of the week has the same schedule. If we switch over to weekly mode, now we can define a unique schedule for each day of the week. This is true for both the parameter and schedule sides of the menu. Now I'll switch back to daily mode. You'll notice that we're back to one schedule, good for all days of the week. We've developed a recording time calculator for your PC. This will help you to estimate how the resolution, frame rate, and quality level can affect the amount of recording time your DVR will get, depending on hard drive capacity and the number of channels. You can find the Digimaster recording time calculator on our website, computargans.com. Well, that's all for part 2 of the Digimaster training video series. Later on in the series, we'll learn some more features of the Digimaster and walk you through all aspects of configuring the DVR system. Until then, keep your Digimaster on.